Hey folks, this is Kenny White over at Chateau Maryland Winery in Orange, Virginia, and today we're going to talk about removing the cork from a bottle of wine. Seems simple enough. I actually had a lady send me an email a while back and asked us to do a video on that because she says every time she pulls the cork out of the bottle it breaks in half, and she ends up taking a screwdriver, which she now keeps in her kitchen drawer, and pushes the rest of the cork down into the bottle and pours the wine out past the floating piece of cork in the bottle. So there is a better way to do it. So we're going to talk about that. First off, let's talk about the different types of enclosures that you may run into as you go through the different types of wine. Probably the easiest one, and it's a very good enclosure, a lot of wineries use it, is a screw top. Now every enclosure has its positives, they all have their drawbacks too. Screw caps give you a great seal. They don't particularly age the wine very well in the bottle that way, of course, because it's an airtight seal, but it is very convenient. You don't need any tools to open it, and it's simply a matter of unscrewing the top. The beauty of it is, if you don't drink all the wine, you can screw it back on and seal the wine into the bottle. My advice on that is drink the wine. Another type of enclosure that we're starting to see it more and more, it's called a ZOX, Z-O-R-X, ZOX. And this is a plastic sleeve with a little stopper on top. And if you look at it closely, you can see that there's a little tab right here. And what you do is you pull that tab and it actually unwinds, and then once you get it all the way off, you can just pull the top off, and there's a little neoprene plug that will seal the wine. These are great to use after you've opened them, because you can stick it back in the bottle and reseal the bottle that you opened, or just keep them in your drawer. I mean, they're great to have. Sometimes you need a way of sealing a bottle that you didn't finish. Again, drink the wine. But if you don't, you have a way of resealing it. Now at Chateau Maryland, we use natural cork. There are neoprene corks, there are composite corks, but we use a full natural cork. They're great for aging, they're great for preserving the wine, and they give you a very traditional way of enclosing the bottle. So the first thing you need to do to get to that is you have to get past the seal. These capsules are put on mostly for decoration, but they do protect the top of the cork to some degree. So you have plastic ones, you have foil ones. They make tools to open them. Here's one. It's like a little clamshell, and as you see, you can squeeze it. And inside here is a cutter. So you put it on top of the bottle and you squeeze it, and when you squeeze it, the blade hits the foil, and then you turn the bottle and the top of the capsule pops right off. Okay, so that's a tool that you can use. Here's another version of the same thing. On your waiter's tool type of corkscrew, some of them will have a little cutting blade. This one has it on the top, and that's made to cut this seal as well. You want to cut it right at the top of the little bevel. Okay, they're about 1/8 of an inch below the top of the bottle. There's a little bevel, and that's where you want to cut the seal. So you just go around the thing and cut it, and it'll pop right off, and it'll expose the cork for you. Now, what I typically do is, when I open one, I don't use the blade. I think it takes too long, and I'm very impatient to get into the wine. But I take the end of the screw, and I simply score the foil. And when you do that, you can just pop it right open and pull it right off. Very easy to do. But there's a lot of different tools for removing these. You'll occasionally see where the tops have been dipped in wax, or it's actually a plastic type material made to look like wax. If you have one of those, what you would do is you would just take your blade and you would score it around the top, as we talked about earlier, and then you can usually pop it off, or you can just actually bore right through with the screw. You still want to score it so that as you pull the cork out, it'll pop that top portion of the seal off. So now that we've gotten to the cork, we got to get it out of there. And of course, this is where that young lady had an issue. She had a couple of problems with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the different kinds of tools that we have here. One is a butterfly type opener, and the way that this works is you put it on top, and you're going to take the top here and you're going to screw it right into the cork. And as you screw that into the cork, you can see that the little arms tend to move up. It's like a stick up, okay? And when they're all the way up, then you simply pull them down, and that cork comes right out, okay? It's a very easy cork remover. Another type, of course, we talked about it earlier, the waiter's tool. They call it that because wait staff love these particular tools. They're very small, easy to use. They can keep them in their pocket, and they're really good for opening a bottle during the wine presentation at a restaurant. So again, I'm just going to score this. I'm going to take this capsule off. You just open it up so that the screw is at a 90-degree angle to the handle, and put it in the center. Just twist it in, and you're going to run it in to the last loop, the last little curve. If you go any farther than that, it's going to come through the bottom, and you could actually leave a speck of cork in the wine, which is not going to hurt anything, but you don't want to do it. If you don't go that deep, then when you go to pull the cork out, it could break in half, which is what I suspect is happening to the young lady that had asked us to do this video. You want to make sure that you get it all the way in. You don't want to come through the bottom though. So once you've got it in the cork, you can notice on this part of the tool, there's two different offsets, and these are made to sit on the rim of the bottle, okay? So you put the first offset on the rim of the bottle, you push the handle up, and it comes halfway up. Then you reset it, and you put the bottom offset on the edge of the bottle, and you go the rest of the way. Very easy to do. God, that smells delicious. Great tool. I highly recommend this type of tool. Now, my wife, my beautiful wife Emily, she had a lot of problems opening wine bottles as well, which gave me tons of entertainment over the years. And of course, one of the things that I would tease her about was, you own a winery and you can't open a bottle of wine. Well, she got tired of hearing that, so she actually went out and she bought herself one of these. This is electric. So this is probably the easiest opener that there is. You put it on the top, you push the button, it pulls the cork out, you push the other button, and it gives you the cork back. Great system, foolproof. You're not going to have any problems with it, but I have to tell you that if you're into the process, if opening the bottle is really part of the wine enjoyment for you, this may not be the way to do it. Okay, it's very utilitarian, but it's not going to give you the warm and fuzzies. Okay. The last puller that we have is actually, it was invented as a wine cork recovery tool. So I want you to think about the young lady that was having the problems opening the bottle. She was breaking off the cork in mid-cork and leaving that bottom piece, and there was no way for her to get it out. So she was taking a screwdriver and pushing it into the bottle to get the wine out. Well, somebody invented a tool to go in there and get that piece, and this is called an ZOX cork remover. And what they found was that it worked really well in going in and retrieving that broken piece of cork, so you don't have to push it down into the bottle. But they also realized that, hey, why use a corkscrew when we can use this? So the way this works is, if you look at the tool, you have two prongs. You have a short prong, you have a long prong. And when you insert this into the bottle, what you want to do is you want to make sure that each prong is sliding against the glass and not digging into the cork itself. Okay? So you take the long side and you angle it towards the glass, and you just push it in just a little bit to get it started. Once you do that, as you can see, we have to get the other side in, so we're going to pull that back and we're going to very carefully insert it again against the glass, not digging into the cork. Okay? Now, hold the bottle and just lightly push in on the cork remover. It's going in, and I'm rocking it back and forth. You want to rock it back and forth, and it goes in perfectly. Now, we're going to pull and twist counterclockwise. And literally, that's all the effort it takes to remove that cork. I love these types of pullers. They do a great job, and they don't run a screw through the middle of the cork. You don't have to worry about breaking the cork. Okay? This is called an ZOX type of puller. And it comes with a scabbard, so you can keep it in your pocket. I can promise you that when you are at a party or an event and you take this out of your pocket to open a bottle of wine, you will have an audience. People really enjoy seeing these things in action. This particular one, I don't know if you can see it or not, but on the metal scabbard it has our logo, Chateau Maryland. So yes, we do sell these. They're 18 bucks. It'll be the best 18 bucks you ever spent. With that said, they do a great job of opening the cork. And as you can see, it doesn't destroy it. There's no hole through the middle of it. It's not all torn up, and you don't have to worry about getting a bunch of cork debris into the bottle. So that's how we open a bottle of wine. I hope that the next bottle of wine you guys get to open is maybe a bottle of Chateau Maryland. But regardless of what it is, enjoy it, and we hope to see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.